Hi everyone, this is Pris from Bladerunner. If you'd like to know how I did it, keep watching. Hi everyone. So today I am doing this picture of Pris that I have admired ever since it came to existence. And my plan was on Friday night, which I'm aware now is Saturday night, is to do like a sort of fan image of this one. So I decided to try my very best to mimic it. So here I'm just working on the background. I cut the main model out using the image select tool. That's the best way to do it. I got her image from Envarto. So what I'm doing is I'm actually colour picking from the original picture. That's the main objective. So I've got the main model cut out and put on a layer all by herself, and then that means I can work on her separately. So here I am just getting down the basics, getting down the black and greys of Pris's skin colour, her hair. I'm just getting it all down, trying to eliminate that dress. As you can see, I cut out the bottom of the dress because I wanted to just keep the shape of the woman's pose, but obviously the dress is in the way. The good thing about the dress is it's a skin colour, so it was quite easy to rectify, if I'm honest. Here I'm just taking some more colour samples from the original to just get those out. Then I convert I didn't convert it here. No, I made a new layer so I could do the hair without worrying about messing it up. So there was a few different textures inside the hair, a lot of greys, and so that was fun, just knocking all that together. So then eventually I wind up having enough of her image that I could do Alt Control Shift E, which would push it all together and make it just one painting. This would make it easier in the long run to treat it more like a painting than anything else. But the benefits I like about graphic design work and photoshopping generally is that I can actually make things, I could change my mind and go back quite far, whereas when I do like an actual painting, the amount of times that I wish there was an undo button on my canvas and there isn't one. So that's something that bothers me immensely when I'm doing an actual painting. So I do love doing graphic design like this. This is very easy, very fun, and you have the ability to experiment. If you're wondering how to rotate the image, that's hold down R, and that helps you rotate it. I find that useful for sort of getting curves. So yeah, I've done all her banding, and then once I'd got all that, I put all that on a separate layer, on a layer all on its own, because then I could alpha lock it, and that meant that I wouldn't paint outside the banding, and I was able to do the shading. This bit was surprisingly easy. I thought it was going to be quite difficult, but I made a ring. Then I did a control and clicked on the layer, which highlighted it in the moving ants, marching ants if you prefer. And then I went to expand it with a feather, and then I was able to sort of go onto a new layer and just sort of paint it in rather than use the actual ring, and then it just came out perfectly. I changed it to overlay for most of it, like even the purple rectangles at the back. So I don't know if the person who did the original picture did it using Photoshop or not. I'm assuming they're a far better artist than I am, and that it was like an oil paint, and it's just absolutely incredible. But yeah, so that's basically what I did. So yeah, now I was just sort of playing around with brushes. I realised at one point that I'd made a neck a bit too thick. But yeah, it's just basically look at the reference, come back to the original one. It was like trying to sort of make the breasts realistic. So I pictured that because her arms are across her chest, she'd be pushing her breast to the left, for her left. And so therefore you would have slight shading gradually going out, and then it would be very dark in the sort of middle parts. And then yeah, then I used the brighter whites to kind of emphasize the sort of squeeze and how it would kind of like come up as it's squeezed. And these are things that you have to kind of factor in. You know, I mean, I know like you can be quite juvenile if you want to be, you know, talking about breasts and things, but it's so important to understand this stuff and look at references. You know, if you're going to try and draw people, you want to try and draw them in a sort of realistic way, you have to do references. You have to try to get good at it. I'm not an expert at it, but I've been doing it for years and it's getting easier. You know, there's certain things that you think, oh right, I know why that doesn't look right, and so you can fix it. But I find working in light and shadow, always considering light and shadow. I mean, in this case as well, just doing the shadow for her there, it was just copying and pasting her and then taking the one that was underneath, the layer underneath her, and just doing levels to make it completely black, then doing an overlay, and then doing a Gaussian blur. And yeah, you know, the mimicry, being able to sort of take this image that I've admired for years and being able to actually get really close to achieving it is very important to me, because I've wanted to get to this level for a while and I feel like I'm getting that. You know, so the sort of grunginess, the sort of darkness, I think I remember it as well. When I was at college, a friend of mine brought in Arkham Asylum, the graphic novel, Batman novel, and I remember seeing the artwork in there and my jaw dropped. It was like, that is what I'm aiming for in my life. That's the artwork style I would love to be able to do. So in this part, I realised I really wasn't happy with the hands, so just did basic photoshopping, got the old image, lowered the opacity, did a mask, inverted the mask, and then painted back in elements of the hand that I had lost. Here I'm doing the colour matching. If you're wondering what that is, you go into image adjustments, go down to colour match, find the image you're working on, pick the layer, and it will match the colour to that layer. So that helps. So here I am picking the brush, and then I'm starting to paint back elements of the hand that I hadn't realised I'd lost. So it's sort of a common fault with me, I'm afraid. It's like I usually think I'm finished, and then I'll look back on something like 2 days later and I'll be like, oh my god, I forgot something, or I didn't do something. And this was one of those. And you might find that a lot when I'm doing something. You might think, oh, he's forgotten something. I apologise completely, because I can be that stupid. But I try not to be too hard on myself. I am an artist. I just play around. Anyway, I think it came out really well. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye. You can also find my books on Amazon under Richard Coiling, and I'm on Facebook, Imaginarium Sanitarium. See you later.